Hey guys, I'm Sparkmaster Neon, and today I'm joined here with my friend JL, and we're going to teach you how to make standards and expectations for yourself. So first off, to start, we should close our eyes and imagine the best version of ourselves. Now what are some traits that makes you that best person, And write them down. That's what we're going to do right now. So give us a sec. So we got ours down, and the next thing to do would be to think of things that you don't like that others have done to you, and write down not to. For example, I am not a big fan of ignorance. If you've been proven wrong and you can't admit that you were wrong, it frustrates me. And if you don't want help, I can't help you unless you want help, for example. And if you don't want the help, I can't give it to you, and that frustrates me as well. So 2 things I will be writing down is don't be ignorant and accept help from others when you're in need. So now we're going to write some things we don't like that other people have done to us. Alrighty? Alrighty. And now that we're done with those, the third best thing to do for making standards and expectations is to ask others around you what kind of standards and expectations they have of themselves. So JL, what are some you came up with? And we'll start with the positive ones. What do you think a good person is?
Well, honestly, if you want to talk about being a good person, the first thing is to look at yourself and seeing, as a person, what do you think is good? So, for me, I like to be a good friend, to help my friends when they need me, or just being supportive, or, when they're actually going down the wrong path, just trying to steer them towards the right path.
Yeah.
In the future, since I'm a family man, I'm really close to my family, so I want to be a good family member to them, whether it be an uncle, be a son, or a nephew, and in any of those aspects, I'm still a member of their family. So what I want to do is, do things for them, sacrifice my time for them. For example, my uncle who passed away recently, I went to his funeral, and, the people who really knew him the most, though, really needed, comfort, and, they just needed me there. So, sacrifice, I literally just told my work that I was going to take off, and I went to Seattle, this past week to, be there and support, my family member who passed away. So, yeah, that's one of the things of being, part of being a good person for me is, and then just being good at what you do, take pride in what you do. Especially the things that you're passionate about and what you want to do, because if you don't put your heart into it, you're not going to do well. So that's why I want to make sure, when I'm doing something, and I want to make sure I'm doing it, I want to do good in it. So other than that, though, that's pretty much all I got. There's a lot more to it. These are just some answers that that can come the quickest ones that come to my mind when I'm thinking about it, but. This standards and expectations is a very deep topic, and it's something that you guys should really think about. Stop and think. Take some time off your day and really think about what your expectations and standards are, because you'd be surprised on what you think about. So that's all I got.
Well said.
Yeah.
Mine's a little more dumbed down.
It's okay.
I've got be kind. The generic. Be good, be a good person, care about others. Be courteous, so, if you see someone's down and they're easy to upset, try your best, to console them, but try not to upset them. But if you do, stuff happens. Be caring. If someone needs help, be there for them, Be considerate of others, and actually that's my next one. Be considerate. Be there. Now what I mean by that is when someone's in need or you think something's up with someone, be there for them. Even if it's not sitting down and talking to them or whatever, just be there. Even just sitting next to them can mean the world of a difference. Just make everything better. Be an example, like I do when I talk to you guys and teach you how to be a better person. Or, embrace yourself. I'm trying to inspire you. I'm trying to be an example and set that standard. And in fact, I will be talking about that next Monday in detail. And, as always, I have shine bright and live a phoenix tale, because that's my life's motto. And I'm always saying it. I can't say it enough.
Sounds good, man. So
the next thing we had was what you don't like being treated towards. So like I gave my examples earlier. And so what are some things that you expect yourself not to do to others because you don't like it being done to you?
Well, Andrew, for me, there's things, there's not like a whole lot of things because, like, I like to think of myself as a good person, I don't want to do bad things to people or for them. So, like, there's a saying that goes like, give to others of what's expected to give to you, like, or do things, treat people the way that you want to be treated. Yeah. So in this way, though, like, I try to treat the people the best I can in a good way. Like, I want to do good things for them, good, like, just all good. Like, I don't want to treat anyone badly. Yeah. And there's rare occasions, like, so, like, I only have 2 things on my list of things that have been done bad to me that, like, I was doing good. I was like, I don't even know what you did. I don't even know, like, why did I do to deserve it? But there's just, like, I think there were just 2 examples that come to my mind of when I see, like, a person who does bad things, or, like, when I think of a bad person is, like, someone who takes advantage of kind people. It's like, we're trying to be honest, we want to help you, but then when you're, when you just, like, take that and you just, like, slander it, like, you just do something bad, that I was just like, wow, that's, like, what a terrible person you are. In most cases, though, it's just like, this is a poor example, but, like, this has happened to me before. There was a guy on the street who was begging for money, and then I gave him $5, and then, like, a moment later, he gets into this, like, nice car, and he drives off, and I'm like, that's terrible. I was like, you're out here, there are real people out in the real world who don't have jobs, who don't have anything. They don't have, like, parents to support. They have nothing. They literally have nothing. And they're out there begging in the streets for some money so they can eat. And, you got people out there who take advantage of that. They pretend to be something that they're not, and they take advantage of you. And it's like, that's just sometimes, like, the world we live in, that there is, like, bad in the world. And I think what another one, like, it happened to me recently when I was at work. This customer was, so he was, like, nice to me, but then he was being so disrespectful to another customer, and I'm just like, hey, listen, man, it's like, why are you being respectful to me, like, and you're being so disrespectful to them, I know, like, they're the same people, just the same, like, they're the same, we're the same here. Then it's just like, but I don't know what it was, but that really sets me off. Like, the thing is, what I want is, like, I just want us to be respectful of each other. Like, a good person is someone who cares about others, and if you don't really care about others and accept yourself, then I really don't think you're a good person. That's just what I believe.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What about you? What else do you got? It looks like you have, like, a whole lot on your list. So.
Yeah, I'm great at putting ideas down, that's for sure.
Yeah, I was like, for me, I base things off of actions, Like, you may have good intentions and all, but you gotta prove those with your actions, and so...
Actions
not like people... Yeah, exactly, and I've never had that happen to me, like, well, knock on wood, but... And, I mean, this is probably, like, a plastic table, but whatever. Yeah.
Mind over matter, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, like... I do a lot of good, like, my actions, I perform a lot of good actions for other people, so other people perform good actions for me. That's always been the case for me. I have rarely had it happen where I do something good for another person and they return bad things to me in kind. So yeah, that I'm just really lucky. That hasn't happened to me before, but there are some rare occasions where I've noticed that something was off. But go ahead. What else? What do you got on your list?
I have don't be ignorant and accept help, like I said earlier. I also have be open-minded. The more open-minded you are, the more you are to accept others. And open-mindedness is something that goes a very long way. If you are the person that people can come to and talk about anything because you don't judge, it honestly opens up a lot of relationships with other people, and it puts you in a good place in others' hearts. And it's very important to me to be open-minded, as well as not being ignorant and accepting help. Yeah. I also have don't judge others without reason, but I think that kind of open-minded kind of covers that too, is, don't judge others without reason in the sense that if they do something that directly affects you, obviously you can dislike that about them and you can judge them for it. But if it's something it has nothing to do with you, why waste the energy and hate it, Yeah,
no, like for me it's just like also about, adding on top of being open-minded is like you got to really put yourself into their shoes. Like, why do you think they did what they did? And if you can see, like, okay, I can see the reason why they do it, then you're more respectful of it. But like, if you can't come up with it, like, so if you're in their shoes, you imagine yourself that you're in their shoes, and you're thinking to yourself, I really didn't need to do that action that they did. I don't see why you would need to do it. Then it's just like, okay, so like you can't figure it out, then like most likely it's going to be a bad thing,
And
if you can't find a reason. Yeah,
to give a second chance.
Exactly. Be open minded. Like you give them benefit of the doubt until they prove otherwise that what you thought they are doing the wrong thing.
I also have be observant, because a lot of times you can be walking down the street and not being paying attention to what's going on around you, and be involved in the wrong stuff. Or, you can say something without realizing that the person you're talking to happens to be hurt about something to do with that, and then hurt their feelings and bring them down more. So always do your best to be observant, and that will go a long way.
Yeah. Like, oh no, so like, here's a funny story. So my friend was really, really down, and like, so she was having a rough day, but I didn't know about this until she told me. However, I said something, and she took it completely the wrong way, and she got so mad, and I'm like, and then she told me, it's like, oh, listen, I know you're trying to joke around, but, I was just having a rough day, things in life is not really going well for me, and, like, I know you're trying to mean well with that joke, but it kind of just set me off. And I was like, honestly, that was my fault, because I wasn't being observant enough. So that happens, and it happens, but the thing is, though,
That gives me another idea.
yeah, just like, if you do something that offends someone, always apologize, you didn't mean it, but, like, you always have to apologize first, because, you did offend them, even if you didn't do it intentionally, always just apologize. So that it works for me. Like, I always try to apologize for my
I
actions.
just added that on my list, apologize for your actions.
Yeah.
Another one is be accepting. Never put someone in the corner by themselves. If you see someone kind of as a loner, it might be by choice, but you can always walk up and say, hey, is everything all right? Or, hey, did you want to join us? That kind of stuff, Being accepting of everyone opens your entire world to more possibilities, because you're bringing everyone into it as opposed to a select few people. And I think that's very important as far as, living life and pushing forward. Another big one is don't overreact. If something offends you, there's no point in just yelling, because it's just going to go south really quick. So, just if someone offends you, a calm response of, hey, that wasn't very nice. And if they keep going, or they be like, well, I don't care, then you can be like, okay, this isn't cool.
Yeah.
But don't overreact right off the bat, because that can escalate situations well past where they need to be. And that's another thing I try my best not to do, is I try to stay calm at all times. And
keep
a level head.
Yeah, level-headed. Being level-headed is important, because it shows you your maturity. If you just jump to conclusions, then you're going to be off the bat. So don't do that.
Exactly.
All right.
But yeah, that's what I have for my list.
Yeah, my list isn't a lot. That's a lot to think about. Standards and expectations isn't just something you can learn overnight. It takes time. Like, it takes maybe even years to figure out.
Life experiences, and they should always be evolving with yourself, because we aren't static people. We evolve. We're dynamic. We evolve and go through life and like new things, dislike old things. And,
I mean, some people are static,
Yeah,
like,
some are,
a wide variety.
Yeah, we're all unique.
The human race is a wide variety of personalities.
But with new experiences comes new perspectives and new ways of seeing things, which would then evolve your standards and expectations. You might bring more in or take some out, But it's just kind of like a set of morals, almost.
Yeah, that sounds real right. Yeah, that's good.
But they're very important to have, and it helps with interactions with other people, so you don't overreact or freak out. You think, hey, I'm trying to be open-minded now. I'm going to try and keep this cool and see where it goes. It's ways to slap yourself on the wrist, like, hey, that's not cool. I told myself I didn't want to be like this. I don't want to be the person that I'm showing off right now. It's against what I mean, my standards and expectations of other people. If I'm transgressing against others in that way, how can I expect others not to transgress against me in that same way? So it's like, treat others the way you want to be treated.
Yeah, that's the best way to describe it.
But yeah, I think that wraps it up.
Yep, that does. I think so.
I think that was a great way to show others how to make their standards and expectations and go forward.
I agree. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to add on top of that, Andrew. Nothing?
No, I think that covers it.
All right, cool. Sounds good. I think we're done here. I don't know.
Yeah. So if you like the video, please subscribe. And if you want more updates whenever we post, make sure you hit that notification bell. Give us a thumbs up if you really liked the video, and leave a comment. Leave a comment in the comment section below. I'd love to hear some stuff you came up with by watching the video, and maybe others can see that in the comments and be like, oh, that's a good idea, and put it on their own standards and expectations list. It's been fun, and as always, shine bright and live a Phoenix tale.